I've been under pressure to get this model on the reviews. Will I kind of like it? Keep watching. Yeah, welcome back. It's GotAUkulele review day as ever with your summary video review, the full written review that you'll always find in the description box below these videos. Also down there, some links to do what these people have done, my weekly thank yous, being very, very kind to these people, saying thank you to them, because I'm not a commercial website that gets paid to do that. I don't bring you paid for adverts. The only reason I can keep doing this is through the kind beers and tips and just generosity from people like this below. You can do that yourself with the links that you'll find down there as well. You can also subscribe to the channel to help me get the subscriber count up, and then more people see these videos as well. Okay, that introduction, a couple of puns in there which may have given you a bit of a clue when you've seen the title of it. Do read the written review of this one, because there's a bit of fun to be had with that as well. And it is an instrument that a lot of people have been asking me for some years to get hold of. I've emailed the brand. I think I got one response and then they never sent anything. My readers and viewers have emailed the brand. They've never got anywhere either. But you do not escape GotAUkulele that easily, so I bought one. This is the BMG Uke by Brian May Guitars. It's a tenor ukulele called the BMG Tenor Uke. Clearly based, as all Brian May guitar models are, on his own designed and built red special electric guitar. Everybody who knows Brian May and Queen will know what his guitar looks like. Brian May himself is involved with the brand. He set it up with a music company because he said that some other music brands, guitar makers, were making sort of instruments that looked like his guitars. So he thought, why not join them and put his name to his own? So he's done it, and their electric guitars review pretty well, actually. And there's a bass and there's an acoustic guitar as well. And sure enough, he had to get on the ukulele bandwagon. And this is this. So there are going to be things that looking at this, it looks like the shape of the Brian May electric guitar. But actually, there's quite a lot missing. And I'm going to keep coming back to that theme throughout, because I think some of it is a shame. But otherwise, what this is, very, very big, rounded shape it had to be, with these offset double horn cutaways in the shape of his guitar. And this is all laminate sapele, so that's pretty cheap laminate wood. Laminate sapele, I think it's 2 pieces on the top, sides and back. Not much more to say about it other than the fact it's finished in the same colour as his guitar, which is called an antique cherry. But it's a pretty cheap basic set of woods, stained. And I'll come back on to that decoration in a moment, because I think that's where quite a lot is missing. Moving on though, in the normal order of things, the bridge is a tie bar. That shape looks like a moustache. Who's got a moustache that shape? A famous lead singer had a moustache that shape. I don't think that is the reason for it. Quite a lot of guitars have it. It's called a reverse moustache shape, or that is the moustache shape and the other way around is the reverse. See them on Gibson guitars. They don't specify the wood other than say it's tech wood. That means it's just a stained hardwood. So cheap, again, cheap body, cheap bridge. But it's otherwise very tidy, fitted with a straight-topped saddle made of PPS, which is a type of plastic. The same sort of thing as New Bone, but it's not using the New Bone branding. Cheap, again, straight-topped. And then there's nothing else on it other than this stain. I look at the specs on their own website and it says white ABS binding. Can you tell me where the white ABS binding is? Because there is no white ABS binding on this anywhere. And the Brian May guitar has white binding, cream binding, that looks great and sets it off. And it's missing here, and I think it really misses it. Of course, the Brian May electric guitar also has this sort of enormous black scratch guard that runs from right across here all the way down, and the controls. This isn't an electric guitar. I understand them not putting a big scratch guard on it, because you wouldn't want to kill the tone and muffle the thing. So I understand why that's not there, but no binding either. To me, it's just the Brian May guitar look in shape and colour only. Nothing else at all, because it needs that binding. Talking about that finish, I think it's quite agricultural. I keep using that word. I like it. I like it as a term. It's quite scruffily done. Different colours of joints and woods, I'm not a huge fan of it. Open pore, very basic, again, cheap. This is going to be another theme that comes through that's just worth keeping in your mind before we get to the price. Just sort of cheap appointments, very basic down here, really. You will also see something I don't like, which is a Fishman cooler pickup system put in the side of the instrument. I get that this is my subjectivity that I don't like these. More to go wrong, too much weight, don't need all the fancy gubbins on it, don't need all the extra wiring, blah, blah, blah. That is subjective. I understand they will get people going, but what's not so subjective is, why would you put it there? Why would you put it exactly where my strumming arm goes, covering it off, possibly even getting affected by my strumming arm? It should be up here if you're going to put it on the side. And also, I don't like jack sockets which are off-center down here, because the tail block is there. That's not in the tail block. That is the hollow, not the strongest part of the instrument. At least it's not a 9-volt battery. So no, I don't like those subjectively, but objectively I think that's in the wrong place anyway. So basics, basics, basics with a pickup system, nothing new there. Inside, pretty regular bracing and notching, pretty tidy in there to be honest, although the top does look quite thick laminate. The neck, wood is unspecified. I can see a joint here, but I can't work out if there's any others because it's finished in the same antique cherry satin. I think there's a joint up at the headstock. I really don't like that big chunky heel. I know why it has to be that shape, because of these double cutaways. That is not a black end cap. If I get closer, you can see it's just painted on, and not painted on very evenly. It just looks so cheap and nasty. I really don't know why. I hate that. That's awful. And also really disappointing, and again probably subjective, the neck tapers down to a really skinny 35. This is a tenor, 35mm nut with a rounded broom handle back, very skinny and narrow up here. 28 from G2A, not my kind of neck at all. Just doesn't feel like a uke, feels like a mandolin up here. More of this tech wood, stained hardwood for the fingerboard. You can see there's quite a few little marks in the finish here that's showing up in the light, which are annoying me. 17 frets down to the depth of this these cutaways, and 18 in total. It's edge bound, so you don't really get any sharp fret ends. A little bit close down here, but a lot of the red stain that they've glooped all over the body is sort of built up inside some of the frets down here. Really, really scruffy down there. And then I was looking at it and thinking something else is missing here, and that's outward facing dots. Now this has no outward facing dots. It does have side dots, which is great, so you're not going to get lost, so it's not a complete complaint from me. I can never get these focused right. 5, 7, 10, 12 and 15. But have a look at the Brian May Red Special guitar. He really went to town with the dots on that. There's singles, there's triples, there's doubles, there's loads of them. It's really one of the really sort of telltale things of the Brian May guitar. Lots and lots of dots. And it's missing. And that, with the binding missing and the pickguard missing, it just really leaves this looking very bare and flat, and it is just in shape only, and colour, I suppose. And that's part of the shape, I guess. So beyond this new bone PPS nut is that arrowhead shape, which is the same as his guitars. No sixpence up here, but you wouldn't want to play a ukulele with a sixpence. If you're a Brian May guitar fan, or you know that your guitar history, you'll know what the sixpence is about. The Brian May logo, which is his signature in screen print on the face. No real complaints with that. Incidentally, I talked about the nut and the setup. The height string action from the 12th is fine. The nut action is fine too. However, when we get to play it, I will show you that there is a problem anyway. They are not great. They are really cheap. Die-cast, part spin stuff. Look at that, one of them there is not even fitted straight. Really, really grindy, all different tensions. Some of them stiff, some of them aren't. They're horrible. They are really, really some of the cheapest geared tuners I've seen. And what else you get other than that pickup? You get a set of Aquila strings. You get a padded-ish gig bag, but again, this is really cheap. I mean, that material, I hate that. That's that PVC plastic, you know, that with that fabric-backed PVC plastic stuff. Really cheap zips. That's not great either. So, okay, it's a signature. Maybe it's a novelty. Maybe it's just for vans to hang on the wall. Brian May Guitars are putting out serious instruments, and you know, he's a serious musician. This isn't put out as a novelty. And when I tell you the price, the asking price, the RRP, is £270. Oh my word, they are in cloud cuckoo land. £270? No. All right, I sometimes see them discounted down to about 250, but still, way too much money. This is a really cheap bill of materials, cheap laminate sapele, unspecified wood in the bridge. All right, there's a Fishman pickup in there, but you know, they've got those bought those in volume. Cheap fingerboards, scruffy finishing on the frets, really cheap tuners, really cheap bag. It's, you know, those Fender acoustics that look like Stratocasters and Telecasters. I didn't really care for them much myself, but they're less than 150 quid to buy now. They are really cheap. Think about what you can buy for £270 and tell me where the money has gone in this to make this £270. Because if you take away that shape and you take away that headstock, this is really no different to some of the painted laminate ukes you can buy on Amazon for sort of £70–80. That's all this is. This isn't, there's nothing unique or groundbreaking in this. It's just they've made a shaped laminate box. And the thing about laminate wood and making boxes out of it is you can make them whatever shape you want. You can have a flying V, you can have all sorts. That's all it is really. This is cheap finish. It looks like the guitar only, but even that they don't get fully right. I think £270 is ludicrous. Anyway, let's play it. I don't like the depth of that body and the big, coupled with the big, I like big rounded bodies like this, but too deep up here, and so it feels a little bit uncomfortable to hold, but you'd expect it to be heavy, but it's not actually. 680 grams, probably slightly on the heavy side, but it balances okay as well. All of what we've talked about so far has been about looks and price. It may sound killer, Queen. No more of those. But I doubt it will. It's got a big body, so I expect some decent volume and possibly some decent sustain. Let's have a go. All right, okay, volume. Yeah, good. Good, loud, punchy instrument. The sustain is average. So I'm understanding why we've got the big body punching the sound out, but can you see that, the lighting here? I'm just going to move the camera a little bit. The sustain's a little bit disappointing. Tone-wise, though, very clear, crisp, but not a lot else going on. There's no real harmonic shimmer going in there, which gives you character. It's just right down the middle. Here we are, quite bright. That's your sound. It's peppy, it's bouncy, it's jangly, it sounds like a ukulele, but it's not earth-shattering, it's just passable, you know, it's not offensive. But that's my point. I'm certain I could buy just a, what brand are they, Amazon Tenor for 80 quid, made of laminates, and it would probably sound the same. Not £270. I mentioned a little bit earlier about a setup issue. As I said, the nut height is fine, the saddle height is fine, but there is something wrong with the scale length when I play up on the first string. So I'm at 5, 7, we're going off. We're going way off. It's very bright in one trick. Intonation down here in first position is fine. It's when you go up. There. The intonation issue is fixable. You could buy one and it not be like that. So it's not brand specific, that point. But it would be wrong of me not to point it out, because it's so obvious you can hear it there. So that is a fault. It's a quality control fault. So there's a QC sticker, pass, on the back. They didn't play the first string then, did they? But this one has annoyed me. It's annoyed me a lot. I like Brian May. I like what he stands for. I like his music. He's clearly a very nice fella from what I see. He's clearly a damn good guitarist. Supports a lot of causes I'm interested in as well. Nice fella. But it seems to me that he doesn't really, or maybe he has just got a name on this. Who knows? But he should never put his name to this, because £270. There's not 270 quid's worth of stuff in this. I think it's quite arrogant. It's quite offensive to assume that, well, I've got my name on it, so you're going to pay for it. Now, maybe I've got it completely wrong. You tell me. You may be a die-hard Queen fan and say, I'd pay 370 quid for that. I'd pay 470 quid for that. Fine, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. I'm a ukulele reviewer, and think about what I can get for £270. Would knock the socks off this. I mean, those Fenders, you'd save money on them. Flight Pathfinder, a solid electric, you'd get for this sort of money. You'd get into some Ponos, or you're getting up towards these sort of those new Carla Contours and stuff like that. 270 quid. This is just a cheap, basic laminate instrument. I've got nothing against laminates. You should know that by now, but they are cheaper. They should be cheaper. No. What's special about it? I think they even miss on the decoration. And for that kind of money, if they put binding on it, gloss, lots of fingerboard dots, that kind of stuff, improve the tuners, I'd be saying great. 270 quid, see it, I get it. They've made a really decent instrument. But they haven't, and that's the arrogance of it, because what they've said is, ukuleles aren't serious, are they? Just make it the right shape and stick some tuners on it, they'll buy it. And I think that's appalling. So no recommendation from me. No recommendation from me at all. Sorry, Brian. Sorry, Queen fans. All right, okay, I've been really looking forward to bringing you that one. I really enjoyed writing the written review. Do go and read it and see how many you can spot. Say no more than that. Right, thank you very much for your ongoing support and for watching this one. We seem to be finally in summertime now in Britain. It's lovely and warm out there. I'm in my shorts now, which you should be thankful the video camera doesn't point that far down. sorry about that image. I'm back next week. I'm not entirely sure what's coming, but I'm back now every week for quite a few until my summer holidays with the family, so it's very, very busy. Lots to bring you. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Stop rambling, bears. Take care. Look after each other. Bye-bye.